What's going on, everyone? This is Zach with Strictly Shisha, and people email me all the time asking what new modern hookah they should buy. And they're like, should I buy the Prometheus? Should I buy the Starbuzz Made in America? Should I buy the Regal? And that is the hardest question to answer, but that question just got a little harder. Art Hookah out of San Diego just released their brand new Aviator stem. And the Aviator stem is made from very high quality aircraft grade aluminum. The anodization on this thing is beautiful and it performs extremely well. So although that question is even harder to answer now, at least there are even more quality options for you guys to pick up on the market. So let's get in the unboxing portion of this hookah and how to set this bad boy up. Alright, so this is the box that the Aviator stem comes in. Has a picture of a plane on it, a spaceship, just in case you guys forgot the theme. It says Art Hookah here on the front. But let's open this bad boy up. First thing you see when you open the box, very, very nice tray. Set that to the side. Go into the lower compartment here. You can see the hookah itself. Very, very nice box. This is something I'm definitely gonna keep in the future to store and transport the Aviator stem. And you open this, and this hookah looks pretty simple, but I consider this hookah like the iPhone. It's so simple, sometimes it's a little hard, and there are no directions that were included in this hookah. This hookah actually has a very unique purge, and then they don't install it for you. So I wanna show you guys how to install the purge on this hookah. So if you look in the heart itself here, you'll see that there's no protruding purge valve like you guys are used to on other hookahs. This one is actually designed on the inside of the hookah. And let me see if I can show you guys what it looks like. That is actually right there, that shaft right there is where you guys install the purge ball. So what you wanna do is grab your purge ball, drop it in that shaft on the inside of the heart. And I'm keeping the exhaust vents of the purge face up. And I'm just gonna stick my finger on the inside here and drop it into the shaft. So you guys can see it now. It's in the shaft, it's sitting there. The next thing you wanna do, grab this plastic piece right here and also finger it into the hole. And once you guys find the right angle, it slides in perfectly. So you guys can see now, the cap is actually preventing the purge ball from falling out. There you go, there's your heart of the hookah with the purge successfully installed. And if you guys look in the holes here, because I can actually see the purge ball, looks pretty cool. Next thing you want to do, grab your down stem first. This is the easiest way I've found to assemble this hookah. Go ahead and screw that bad boy in. Now the down stem is adjustable, and as you guys can see here, if you unscrew and screw it, it adds a different length to the top. I prefer to have it right about here to get some extra length on that down stem with my particular base that I'm using. If I was using something like an Egyptian bell base, a traditional base, I have it all the way at the top, all the way fully screwed in. But because I'm using a more of a narrow base, I want a little bit longer down stem. So I choose right about here. As you guys can see, that's the length that I have. Good tip I can give you guys, use a paint marker or some whiteout. Once you find the perfect space, just put a little mark there so you know exactly where to put it. The part with the logo is actually the one that screws in here. Screw that in next. Tighten it up. Next part. Alright, so you guys saw me set up the hookah, and although it looked really easy to set up, they didn't include any instructions. But I showed you guys how to set it up, and I showed you guys how to install the purge. So I chose to pair my Aviator stem with this beautiful Dashini fragment base. And this stem is compatible with any large base of your choosing. So if you choose to put a boho on here, or just a regular Egyptian base, I think the combination of this genie style base with this streamlined hookah, the two just complement each other so well, and this is a gorgeous setup. When I was setting this thing up, you can really tell the quality of materials that they used. And they used aircraft grade aluminum. And when I took each individual piece and I tried to bend them, I mean this thing was sturdy. And aircraft grade aluminum is known to be very, very strong. It's also known to be very light. The whole hookah itself, minus the tray, weighs less than 1.5 pounds. And that is extremely light for a hookah, but yet it's so strong. The tray is like oddly heavy though. The tray is probably one of the heaviest trays that I own, apart from my Shika trays, which everyone knows Shika makes the heaviest trays. The tray weighs less than a pound all by itself. But the whole hookah itself, for its weight, it's extremely light compared to all the other hookahs on the market. And the threading on this pipe, because all the parts come apart, the threading is very nice. It's not as beefy as my Prometheus threading, but because the anodization is perfect and the threads are crisp, in no circumstance at all am I worried about this thing cross-threading. Let's start with the bottom of the hookah. This hookah has a built-in diffuser into the bottom of the stem, which yields a really smooth smoking session, and it's dead silent when smoking it. Move on up to the heart of the hookah. The down stem itself is actually adjustable. And one of the biggest things I say when someone is creating a hookah, I feel like they just disregard the length of the down stem and they think it doesn't matter. The beauty of this hookah is you can actually adjust the length of the down stem. So because I am using a genie style base, I preferred a little longer down stem. If I was using a traditional Egyptian base, I prefer a little bit shorter stem. Which is great about this hookah, I can actually adjust it according to what base I prefer or how I want my session to perform that day. Moving on up, you have a hose port compatible with most hoses on the market. On this side here, you don't see the actual purge valve, which is nice. It's built into the heart of the hookah. And that's a really unique feature to this hookah. The heart of the hookah is a common chamber. That means there are no dedicated hose and purge ports compared to what a traditional chamber would be like in most of your Egyptian hookahs or the Starbuzz, etc. And most people would say this is a down flaw. Most Chinese hookahs have common chambers, but I've not found the common chamber to affect the performance much. Moving on up the stem, you have this beautiful blue anodization. I love the blue. It reminds me of the BMW blue. You have the tray up top. I said this is a super heavy tray. I mean, I put this on the end of a table and try to bend it. This thing is very sturdy. It actually functions very well too. It's nice and wide. I left coals on here for a while to see if it discolored. No discoloration. I never thought the bowl port would be a point of concern on any hookah, but I cannot stand the Regal bowl port. The bowl port on this is just like a traditional hookah. It's nice and fat though, so you get a nice mod grommet on here if you're using a stone bowl like I am. If you're using a more of a narrow shaft bowl, you can use an Egyptian grommet. But the way the bowl port is designed, I'm not worried about my bowl falling off. So now that we went over all the individual components of this hookah, let's get into what really matters. How does this thing perform? Let me take a few hits for you guys. As you guys can see by my cloud output, this thing rips fat clouds. It performs extremely well, definitely competitive with all the other modern hookahs on the market. Every hit you take from this, it's super smooth, it's dead quiet, has a really large gauge down stem, even larger than the Starbuzz or a KM. So every pull is effortless, there's no restriction coming from the hookah, but it doesn't get any flavor loss, which is really important. The anodization on this, I told you the quality materials. When I've switched from flavors like this coffee flavor to a mint or a citrus flavor, there's very minimal ghosting, and that's something you should expect from a hookah of this quality. So let's talk about the purge and how does it actually perform. A lot of people are concerned that because this is a common chamber hookah, it will not purge as efficiently as a traditional chamber hookah. But I think that it actually purges pretty decent, and let me demonstrate that right now. As you can see, it does expel smoke. So I think the combination of its functionality and the unique design of the purge, it overall gets a pretty decent assessment from me. And look, it's shorter. You guys can drop it down from 28 inches by removing the top portion or the bottom portion. I prefer to move the bottom one and drop it down to about 20 inches. And this smaller size hookah is perfect for a desktop, and I prefer the smaller profile anyway. And I know you guys care about the customer service and the brand behind every product. Art Hookah, the maker of this hookah, they've been around for a very long time in the industry making those glass hookahs, and they're known to have one of the most beautiful lounges in San Diego. Regretfully haven't been there yet. That is definitely on my bucket list, but I've heard it's the most sophisticated and gorgeous lounge anyone has ever been to. That's exactly how they've created this hookah. It's a beautiful pipe, it's classy, it performs well. This is an all-around great pipe, and I think it competes with the other top 3 modern hookahs on the market. So Oleg, you did a fantastic job with this. Your customer service was wonderful. This is a pleasure to smoke out of, and I'm proud that I have this hookah. So if you guys want to pick one up, definitely check out 5starhookah.com. This thing is listed for $170 for the stem alone, and that's competitive with all the other grade hookahs. So the price point on this is perfect. I told you the quality on this grade. You guys saw that it smokes really well. So I'm very happy with this hookah. There's only one minor flaw to this pipe, and that is the fact that if you smoke multiple sessions of very juicy tobacco, you get some leakage in the stem where the seams are, where the pieces come apart. You'll notice that juice starts dripping down your stem. And although that doesn't really affect my session in any way, that shouldn't happen, and that shows that there's some sort of manufacturing error in this pipe. And that's just a small minor flaw. Like it said, it doesn't really affect the smoke, but it does make my beautiful stem look kinda ugly. So thank you guys as always for watching. Thank you Oleg from Art Hookah, and thank you to the viewers who recommended that I review this pipe. Keep coming with that feedback and let me know what you guys want to see next. But thank you guys, bye.